Okay. Today we have a question from, I don't know who, but it's a good question.
It is.
How do I get contractors to actually follow my process? So why listen to us? I'm Tom. This is Aaron. We've ran multiple agencies, managed hundreds of employees, get paid to answer questions like these, but we don't like being on calls much. So we're thinking this will be easier to send to people. Okay. You want to start this off for me?
I can kick it off. So
Okay.
for me, this is a little straightforward. It's pretty much two ways. So there's two types of contractors you're going to hire. First are like the hourly or project-based people you hire on Upwork or similar platforms. And second are the people who you call contractors, but are really like full-time employees in your business, right? You're just calling them contractors to skirt around all the employment issues. So the way I look at it is, if you've hired someone on Upwork, they are supposedly an expert in what you hired them to do. So if you want them to follow your process, you should have told them that up front, and that would be part of their calculation in what to charge you, and you're negotiating their hourly rate or their contract rate, right? Now, if they are truly an expert and it's something you actually are not very good in, you shouldn't expect them to follow your process. You should actually just let them do their process and accept the fact that it'll be a little different from yours, but that's okay because the job will still get done. If they're an independent contractor who's essentially working part-time or full-time for you, that's a little different. You need to provide them with SOPs, standard operating procedures, and make sure that they're easily accessible in something like a wiki tool or Notion or something like that. And you should be aware that most people will need either a written SOP or a visual SOP, just depending on how they work. For example, the best practice would actually be to give them a video SOP or what it is you want them to do for your process, and also to AI that into a set of written SOPs so that they can have a checklist to follow as well. And I think you have kind of a similar take, Tom.
Yeah, similar. Like contractors, I usually like to give them a test in the beginning, like a paid task, right? So this would be something like, okay, just follow this SOP and, if you pass, you keep going. If you fail, you get fired. It's a contractor. Like I just look at them as a numbers game. You hired to get a specific outcome. There's no loyalty, no training, no anything. It's just like you get me the outcome the way I want, or you don't, and leave. With employees, the only thing I would add is like when you tell someone how to do something, just have them repeat it back to you. Because so many times you would be like, okay, do it this way, A, B, C, D. And they will say, yes, boss. And I'll be like, okay, what did I just say? And they'll be like, A, D, C or something. I'm like, what? That's not what I said at all. So sometimes it's just that part, right? Like, did they actually hear you? Did they understand the process? And they just let them go. And if they can't figure it out, if it's an employee, you can train them a couple times. If they still can't figure it out, then like, well, maybe this is not a good place. But overall, employees, I think, do okay. I just find like we assume too much. We assume people listen, and sometimes they kind of listen, but not all the way. And that's, what the problem is. But since this is a question about contractors, I would just do it the way I do it with the paid task. If they can do it right the first time, they should be able to do it right the next time. Because you give them the SOP, you give them the paid thing, and it's like, okay, well, you did it once, so what happened now? But overall, I don't think it's that difficult. So I think the people asking this type of question usually don't have clear SOPs.
Yeah. They've done everything themselves, and they kind of expect other people to know what they did.
Yeah, or it's just not clear. So I've done this before. So we would do an SOP within the company. I would get one of my employees that's not good at this thing to follow the SOP in front of me, just share screen, show me what you're doing. And I will see that they just can't follow it because it's unclear. So we fixed it, and then we can give it to contractors. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you got to be like, maybe it's you first, because if your employee can't follow it, then, like something happened. And since I have my employees do SOPs, I might have their teammate follow it. Or I will follow it. I'll be like, well, okay, I haven't done this before. Doesn't look right. Something wrong with your SOP. So it could be that. I don't know. You're better at SOPs than me, but this is like my simple take on it.
Nah, that makes sense. The other thing I would add is if they follow the SOP and they get it wrong, rather than you fixing it, just tell them what they did wrong and have them fix it. That way they'll learn the SOP. That's all.
There you go.
Yep. Nice
Like,
and easy.
I think before we finish it up, like I just remember I heard someone, like company owner with 150 remote employees, right? The first week or 2 weeks of the job, this was interesting. I haven't tried this, but this was his thing. When you get into his company, your job is to go through as many SOPs as you can in your job role and improve one or two of them based on what you're doing and what's not working. Because you're the expert, you were hired, you know the outcome, and like, and he's done this, and he said like the SOPs are revolving and improving. I don't know. I haven't tried it. But he made it like a part of the process.
Generally, it's good to have your employees or your full-time contractors improve your SOPs, but I would actually be wary of having someone new do it because they may come in from a different company doing it in a different way. And then all of a sudden you find that your existing employees are like, what's happened with this SOP? It was perfectly fine. Why did we change it? Yeah. And
again, it's just something I heard from someone else, but I didn't think that's like the best idea for me. All right. I think that's it for today. Till next time.
That's it. Hit subscribe. See you guys next time.